Year 2, it's Miss White here. This week in English, you're going to be focusing on instruction writing, and by Friday, you're going to have planned and written out some instructions on how to make pancakes. To help you with that, I've done an example here of some instructions on how to make a peanut butter sandwich. Now you'll notice I've done a title and I've written a list of what you will need. This isn't essential, the list of what you'll need, but if you want to include that, you can. Our focus is going to be on the steps that you're going to write to give your reader the instructions. So I've written my list of what you need and I've done my first 2 steps. So I've written 1 first, you put 1 slice of bread on the plate. Then you put the knife carefully into the butter and spread the butter onto the bread. Now I'm going to show you here, this is our marking grid, which is what we would like you to focus on in this writing unit. We've called it lettuce because the text that you're going to be reading is called Grow Your Own Lettuce. It's got some instructions. We look at 6 key areas. So we're going to look in particular at these first 3 today. So structural features, language features, and the grammar. All of you should be aiming to achieve green. And anyone that wants to push themselves a bit more into greater depth, that's what the yellow is for. So if we look at our structural features, we want to make sure that we've sequenced our instructions appropriately with a title and numbered next steps. Moving on from that, you can also include time connectives. So I've put both in my instructions so that you can see. So I've numbered them, but I've put some time connectives here. I've used first and I've used then. The language features, our big focus is how to add detail in the instructions. So we've got the use of adverbs, so our ly words. So a couple of examples for you there, carefully and slowly. Also the use of prepositions to add further detail, so using things like on top or next to. Moving on, you could add extra detail to vary your sentence structure and to elaborate on your instructions. We won't worry too much about that today. That's going to be something we can look into in our second week of instruction writing. And another focus, very important with instructions, that you write in the correct tense. Now, instructions are written in the present tense, so you need to check that your verbs, your imperative verbs, are written in the correct tense. So put and spread. So I've written those in the present tense. So I'm just going to move on now and write some more instructions. So then you put the knife carefully into the butter and spread the butter onto the bread. So step 3, then you put the knife into the peanut butter jar and spread the peanut butter. Now, if we have a look now, because we always have to stop and kind of reread our sentences and edit and improve, a couple of issues. I've repeated the same time connective. It's going to make it a bit boring for my reader, so I'm going to change then, and I'm going to put after that, you put the knife into the peanut butter jar and spread the peanut butter. Now, another thing on our grid, prepositions to add further detail. Now, my reader at the moment doesn't know where to put the peanut butter, so I'm going to, just as I've done in the sentence before, I'm going to write onto the same slice of bread. And I've got to remember my full stop as well because it's the end of my sentence. Step 4. So I've told my reader they need 2 slices of bread. So I'm going to say now I don't want to use the same time connective. So I'm going to say next you get the second slice of bread. And now I've used the word put quite a lot. Imperative verbs are quite tricky because you need them to be bossy. But again, we want to try and vary our language. So I'm going to say place. So next you get the second slice of bread and you place it on top of the first slice. Again, full stop. And our final step. So finally, I'm going to put a comma in there as well. So finally, you cut the sandwich in half. Now if we go back to the grid, remember we want to use adverbs to add some detail. Now we want to make sure that our reader is doing this carefully. So I'm going to say, finally, you carefully cut the sandwich in half. We can add a little extra step if we want to. So now you can eat it, a little exclamation mark. Please make sure as well, if you're doing your handwriting, I haven't been able to model that on here today, but the Letter Join website that we sent a link to will help you practice your handwriting. And again, always big focus on our punctuation, particularly our full stops and our capital letters. So this is what you're going to all be producing by the end of the week. Again, it's going to be on how to make pancakes, and we will also be uploading for you a planning sheet that's going to help you with your instructions. So good luck this week, Year 2, and I look forward to seeing your work. Please either email it in or upload it onto Twitter for me. Thanks, guys.